Hey everyone, it's Shane and Richard here with the Rogue Traders. It's time for this week's weekly Gravity live stream. It's April 23rd,
Mhm.
and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on. We had some trades since last week that went through. We actually made some good money actually
No, that's
for the little account. So
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
we're not going to be buying a yacht with that account, but it's a start, a canoe maybe, a small inflatable raft.
Yeah, made of
But
animal skins
yeah,
and wicker.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
money's money, right? All
Yeah.
right, here, let me share the screen so people have to look at our faces. All right, so is full screen? Yeah, it is. All right. So here we got the Bitcoin chart. You can see we've only got two positions left. We sold our entire Tesla position. I'll go through that in a minute.
Oh, good. I was worried
Um,
about that actually. I'm glad you
yeah,
didn't.
no, we really nailed that one. So we're up about $1,100 on what we have left of the Bitcoin. You might not be able to see it here on the screen. It's kind of small, but that's just over $1,000, 1,100. And you can see we had an order to sell some of it here at 79,646, and the price went up to 79,441. So
Yeah.
we missed it by $200 at exit, but that's fine. It was only a piece of the position that was left because we were selling all the way up. So
How did you choose that number?
it was
Because
just freaking random. I just
random
wanted to
number.
sell it in front of the 80,000.
Because 79,646 is exactly where there's $1 billion of short liquidations waiting to happen.
Maybe that had something to do with me, or was that after? I don't know.
Well, you
But
contributed to it a little bit.
yeah. I just wanted to sell it in front of the big number.
Yeah.
So I put a couple $100 in front of the big number. Again, not a big deal. There's nothing scientific about it. We sold all the way up, and I said, hey, if we sell some here, then I'll look to sell some again, maybe mid to high 80s if we get a real run through, and we might. Right now we're experiencing a little bit of a pullback. Nothing much, but look at this chart.
Yeah.
It's kind of like higher highs, higher lows, right?
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
It's,
So we're,
it's
we're
kind
on
of
an
kind of
uptrend.
interesting because we're not actually far away from where we were a week ago in terms of price.
Yeah,
But we've
yeah,
actually had quite a big journey in the meantime.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And for anyone who wants to get all silly about it, not silly, but technical about it, there's kind of the floor of an uptrend. So if you're a technician, yeah, we might want to buy it around 76,000,
Yeah,
somewhere
makes
around
sense.
there. That seems reasonable. And I think this is going to line up with the liquidity heat map. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because everybody's looking at the same information. So what do I expect? I expect it to probably just continue going up in such a pattern until it doesn't. Obviously, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about with the war.
Yeah. Well,
Lots of potential things going on there, which we'll get into in a minute. Let me just review the
yeah,
account
yeah,
first,
sure.
and,
No,
and then we'll carry on. So what else do we have? Well, we still have your freaking gold.
awesome.
It's now negative again. Let's take a look here. It was positive, negative,
Yeah.
flat, and now it's just kind of hanging around.
Well, this is
But
linked with the whole geopolitical thing and inflation expectations and whatnot.
yeah, Eh,
Uh, so we'll get to that.
yeah,
But
and we don't have large positions,
no,
so I mean,
and it's definitely going up. So
whatever. So we might want to buy it, or we could put trigger orders in. So if it does start to go, we get on board, so we buy more,
yeah.
or we look to buy more if it dips. And I'm surprised we didn't have more. I thought we had orders down here actually.
So gold is one of those things that personally I dollar cost average into it because
Yeah, yeah.
it's a for a safe asset, it's a very volatile safe asset, and you can never really predict what the market's going to do to it.
And look, this has an uptrend too, so it's just kind of
Yeah.
broken that actually. If technically speaking, and I don't have, I should. What the hell's going on? I should have like moving averages on here and stuff. I think that's not accurate. That would be cheating. So this would be more like the chart. So you could say now we're broken that trend line,
And I'm
and
kind
you
of
could expect it to come down.
I'm kind of surprised that the Bitcoin didn't do that as well. But if you look at Nasdaq and
They don't have indices on here.
SPYs, then you'll find well look at SPY, then probably see the reason why Bitcoin didn't do it because SPY kind of topped out but didn't actually drop.
Yeah, it's just
Understand?
kind of been going flat.
Yeah,
And of course, because gravity's only recently added this asset,
yeah,
we've only got it back to the 10th.
yeah. So
Uh,
but yeah, so SPY's been doing this
yeah,
massive surge up from 630ish, isn't it? Uh, at the bottom it was about 630. I think.
I usually don't follow the SPY. I follow the
Yeah.
ES futures,
Yeah,
which is a bit different.
Yeah,
But yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because I trade this, so
I was just gonna say, did we have this last time? We must have because it came out a while ago. Because I think I forgot that they had the indices on here. Let's take a look at these. So they've got the SPYs. Do they have like the Nasdaq or the Russell or anything here? No, there's a Qs. Yeah, Nasdaq 100. Natural gas. Yeah, we knew about that.
Well, so SPYs is a good enough proxy for S&P index.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's great. I didn't know maybe they had the Dow or the Russell. Maybe they're going to be adding that. I don't know.
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Not that that's necessarily relevant for what we're talking about right now, but that's fantastic. Yeah, you're 100% right there. Okay, so we're back to the Bitcoin chart. What else we got? Gold, Bitcoin. That's a little bit. We don't have much left.
Tesla.
So,
you sold
Tesla.
Nice call on Tesla, by the way.
Thank you very much. If for a position that we initially got into by accident, it worked out well. We sold the last of it at 408.
Awesome.
And look, it went up to like 408 and a pennies, you know.
So whoever bought that from us, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was really quite nice. So if you're looking to get back into Tesla, so Tesla had earnings yesterday.
Yeah.
That's this big drop.
Well, because they've scared all the analysts by spending so much money on capex.
Oh, okay. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
I just saw that they had the earnings and it dropped. So, let's let this figure itself out today when the market opens and see what's going on. But I shouldn't say anything until I actually look at what they said for earnings and forecast. But, looking at the chart, it wants to come back down here. Sure, I'll start to buy it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's on a kind of a downtrend, isn't it? It got bid up at the end in this lull in the war, which I think everyone thinks is the end of the war. But
yeah, no, it was for a long time. It lingered in the 300s, and then it finally broke that 400. I think it made it went up to like 430 or something like that. I can't remember. So what's on this chart? This is a 419 on this chart, but it was a bit higher. Anyways, that's fine. Tesla, so we're completely flat. We don't have any Tesla anymore.
Yeah.
I have to remember to start looking more at this because I usually only check this account once a week, right? Because we're not like being in and out, but maybe we should be.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be looking to scoop deals when things dip and average into positions because we're not going to take any grossly large positions in this account.
I think Gravity now offers a rich set of stock and indices that we can always find a trade. At least one a day.
Yeah, it's like a drug addict. You've got to have a fix every day. Well, Gravity kind of
provides
solves that. Thank you very much. All right, so that's it for this. Should we move on to? Do you want to look at the liquidation heat map and look at the information around Bitcoin, and then get into the geopolitical stuff?
I think it's worth looking at the liquidation heat map. It's also worth mentioning MicroStrategy, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's something else I trade. MSTR, or strategy. That's been bid up quite a lot from its lows. Actually, something like 50% from its lows. So it's quite aggressive compared to Bitcoin. And I think this might be something to do with what's driving Bitcoin, because people too tend to short strategy and long Bitcoin, and they hedge one against the other. And strategy's gone from an MNAV of 1.08, which is the multiple of the stock price to the net asset value of the Bitcoin underneath it, and it's currently running at 1.29. So there's been this big sort of spread between strategy and Bitcoin that's grown. So anyone who's trading that spread might have had to hedge and been a bit hurt.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably helped Bitcoin on the way up.
Yeah.
People have had to hedge this because this strategy is something that the whole of Wall Street hates, and they all short it all the time. But the graph is the graph.
Don't fight the chart.
Exactly.
Don't fight the chart. So I imagine the vols must be pretty high in MicroStrategy.
Strategy trades about 20 vols higher than Bitcoin. It's quite a nice stock to trade.
Yeah. So if you're trading options, you could be selling iron condors or strangles or
or you could you could be selling calls on strategy and buying Bitcoin underneath, something like that.
Yeah.
Pick up a vol.
Earning income when you're holding an online asset. All right. Anything else you want to talk about with MicroStrategy?
No, and then I think we should touch on the heat map and the geopolitical situation. Yeah.
All right. So here's the heat map, courtesy of those dudes over at Binance. This is the 24-hour. Look, we got a little knot of liquidity up here. Just underneath 80,000, 79,000.
So people have just been shorting that top. That's all. That's
Hence why I wanted to sell before it got there,
Yeah.
and it almost did.
Yeah.
Almost did.
Yeah.
But hey, you can't.
If you stick it on the 2 weeks.
All right, let's take a look. Well, do you want to take a look at 1 week first?
Yeah,
Will
sure,
that be
yeah.
helpful? Or
Yeah.
all right,
I mean, just gives you a context of what's going on, right?
same thing.
So we've had that liquidation there level there at 179k ish.
Yep.
Right
around here. Yeah.
It got taken out nicely.
As expected, it's like clockwork.
Yeah. In the absence of any geopolitical news or events, yeah. And then I think it's roughly the same picture over 2 weeks. Over the last 2 weeks. But what you do see is that on the downside, there is more and more liquidation risk building up. And I think that's relevant because 120 million in one bar is getting near the level that it's worth hunting.
Yeah.
So actually, and that's what 73k. That's quite a way down now.
So it's $5,000 away.
And there'll be a lot of accounts that are super long futures, hedging options, and those got to unwind really quickly.
As the price of Bitcoin has moved up over the week, I did have some short calls in the high 70s, low 80s, for example.
Me too, same.
That I moved, and I did put some down onto short puts.
Okay.
I split, but nothing here. It was all kind of mid 60s.
I wouldn't sell puts below 70k at this stage.
I think that because if we get it moved down here, then I'll start selling puts down there and get some real good value for them. So if we come down and we punch this liquidity level here at 73, I'll be selling like the 65, 66 a month out or 2 weeks out or whatever, and get some good value for them. And just to be clear, when I roll those calls away, I wasn't just throwing them onto puts. I was rolling them up. You're going to get less value for them because they're further away, and taking that extra little bit I was missing and putting them down here on the put side so that I didn't have to sell anything close to the money, right?
It's your sneaky little tactic, isn't it, for getting out of trouble with calls?
Is it sneaky?
Yeah, I do it too.
All right, look at the 1 month. There's not a lot.
Yeah, it's diffused, right? Well, you could say there is a lot, actually. There's a lot of liquidation risk all the way down to 65k. If you add it all up.
Yeah, there's bands and bands and bands. Yep. That would be an extraordinary move. That would be obviously a news event if that were to happen.
And on that note,
okay, let's talk about that.
So yesterday was the supposed day of
ceasefire
extension talks.
Yes, the talks. Yes.
The US has seemed to have now. Well, there's no talk. No one's going to any talks. There was some talk of Iranians and Americans meeting on Friday tomorrow. But so far, I've not heard any indication that the Iranians are going to go, and I don't think any of the US officials are on the way, unless I'm mistaken. The situation now is that the US has unilaterally extended its ceasefire, and Iran hasn't.
Yeah. So they're just sort of doing things independently,
so they're not talking anymore, right?
Every 30 minutes, a piece of news comes out from one side or the other, and the market goes, "Whoa, it's ridiculous."
And I wanted to mention this because yesterday I was speaking to a colleague of mine in the US, in New York, who's an big investor in AI and tech and so on, right? And I said to him, "What's the feeling over there about the whole, the fact that the whole world's running out of energy and there's no oil anywhere, and airlines are cancelling all of their flights?" He said, "No one even thinks about it. In the US, there's business as usual, right? So you've got the whole of Wall Street and the US investors, a large chunk of them, think nothing's wrong.
Yeah,
completely oblivious to the fact that there's zero fuel.
Well, there's plenty of fuel in the world. It's just
all in the States.
Reconfiguring the infrastructure. It's not like if Iran disappeared tomorrow,
right,
we'd all run out of oil. Well, no, we just have to reconfigure.
No, that's right. So there's about 20 million barrels a day missing of supply, and all that was on the water, and that's all now landed in Europe. I think Asia the same thing. Asia's got problems getting a hold of oil. And airlines are now starting to cut flights. So Lufthansa and the Hong Kong one, Cathay, and one of the Dutch ones, I think, also cancelled. Yeah, KLM cancelled 1,000 routes.
Oh,
yeah. So getting around is getting harder. But I think seeing the whole rally of the last 2 weeks of the ceasefire, I think the markets have just been in relief and have forgotten that there's a war. And just assume it's all over. And the peace talks on Friday or whenever are a formality. Meanwhile, the IRGC have strengthened their power in Iran. I'm seeing reports on Twitter that they might be mining the Straits of Hormuz again. Iran are hugging the coastline to stay within international waters to avoid the blockade, the US blockade, but there's still a blockade, and the straits are still closed. The US and Israel's strategic aims have not been met in terms of eliminating Iran as a country. So I don't see any reason why there should be peace, and therefore, given that the market is now complacent, I think there's an opportunity for a shock that could frighten people. It's my kind of view, right? And I think markets tend to crawl up until they don't.
And that's exactly what was happening yesterday. If you're sitting in front of the screens, it was like one of the most boring experiences ever, as it just slowly went up. Just slowly,
yeah. But futures opened are opening lower today, a little bit lower.
Yeah. Europe, they're down a bit too, but not much has been happening in Europe. One thing I do quickly want to check on here is the stats from your immersive friends.
Yeah. Okay. So you see, immersive have increased the number of tenors that they're offering now to 3 days plus 1 week. That was my request, by the way.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
So you see that actually over the next 3 days, the 10 delta risk reversals are very, very slightly negative.
Over here, yeah.
And
2 3 days.
And the 25 deltas are almost close to 1 or 0, which kind of means that the market doesn't feel any threat of a down move over the next couple of days. And then it starts to feel more threatened as the weeks go by. So out to 2 weeks, it's starting to be more concerned about the downside. But at the money vols are back to 40, which is kind of normal it's the new normal for stable Bitcoin. And while the flies are saying that there's no perceived risk of big moves, accelerating moves.
It's a super boring matrix here.
So complacency intensifies.
And every single time we've been trading this bloody asset for years. What happens, right? Everybody gets all complacent. They think, I need to make some more money. I'm going to sell some of these, even though the vols are whammo. Bitcoin moves $10,000, $12,000.
You get maximum 3 weeks of complacency, maximum. And we're in our first week of it. So anytime between now and the next 14 days, Bitcoin's going to move.
And the other thing too is there's typically things going on until the summer, and then summer vols flatten. Even in Bitcoin, they flatten. But with the war situation happening, that's kind of off the table for now. So I expect also a move before the summer doldrums, assuming that let's say everything's resolved by the summer, and I'm hopeful it will be. They've got to do something before then. They can't just let this just go into the summer and do nothing. It's not going to happen.
No,
it's not going to happen.
The market has to hurt. Maximum number of people.
It's gotta.
And right now, that number of people who can be hurt is growing to the downside.
And we can see on the liquidation heat map, on the downside, it's again, it's not huge. This is 1 month out, but if you accumulate all this, a move back down to mid 60s would cause people a lot of anxiety.
$1 billion of liquidations. It would make the news. It's also worth mentioning that Goldman Sachs put out a note yesterday. I'm not a huge fan of Goldman Sachs. However, I have to recognise that their position in the market, and they have a lot of intelligent people working there. And I'm not a fan of them because I generally favour underdogs, and I tend to be against the big guy. However, their analysts were saying, these markets are priced for perfection, is the sort of industry standard euphemism for you're an idiot if you buy the markets here.
Is this the article that I shared yesterday? Like saying, okay, and I think the article is saying basically
we've had a good run.
Everything's kind of been bought that should have been bought. Now people are searching for things to buy that really shouldn't be bought, and that's where we're gonna get in trouble. Get overextended. I remember when I used to work in a brokerage firm all those years ago. It was in the late '90s, and there's the .com bubble. You started getting kids coming in on skateboards. You're wondering, I got $200, man. I want to invest. It's time to get out. It's time to get out. So, all right. So this is interesting because I sort of framed this at the beginning that, hey, why won't this keep continuing to go up? And it could. It very well
Yeah,
could.
could, yeah.
But when we look at the liquidation heat map, there's incentive
Yeah.
for a move down. There's incentive to cut that liquidity. We did take a look at the one we called just quick. I don't expect it to be much different. Just again, so cleanly cut through there. You had to expect that.
Yeah.
You wait on the other side and it comes down. It's just like bloody clockwork.
Yeah.
And we should maybe start taking those. I'm going to start paying more attention to this account, and we'll start taking those trades just based on this liquidity heat map to show you guys that more often than not it works. Sure, something can happen, and Trump makes a tweet and it goes the other way. Okay, fine. But for the most part, these things are almost an idiot-proof guide, which is perfect for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So otherwise, nothing's happened really. Otherwise, in the past week, right? There's not been any big attacks anywhere. We've been in a ceasefire. Israel have been invading Lebanon, and
and I think I saw this morning that the Israelis told everyone to get out now because they don't know how long the ceasefire will last for. Meaning, we're going to be bombing again imminently, so you better get out. So I just saw that report this morning.
And the American embassy told all U.S. citizens to leave Lebanon.
Yeah.
Good
times, not really. So
and actually, I was speaking to a friend of mine this morning in Dubai. Dubai suffered the highest number of rocket retaliations from Iran. And he tells me that life back there is everyone's acting as if everything's back to normal.
Okay.
As if the war's over.
Yeah.
Which in my mind is a sure sign that everyone's getting way too complacent.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to.
I
don't think it's going to get real bad. But maybe I'm being silly. I certainly hope it doesn't. But I just don't. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I recognize we are sitting on a powder keg.
Yeah.
I recognize it could be lit off.
I mean, markets have very short memories, as do traders like us,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I remember 2 weeks ago, it was like the world's ending, right?
Exactly, right. One thing I did want to touch on is trading energy.
Oh.
Trading energy is
a fool's errand.
It's hard. It's really, really, really hard. Now, Gravity does have some energy products. They've got crude, they've got Brent, they've got natural gas. You can do those things. The only thing I wanted to say is, I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day, is, look at this slop. Whatever. But, if you've got a hunch, sure, go with it. But don't expect to trade quickly in and out of energy products. It's something you kind of got to sit on and wait for that move. And it might happen in 2 weeks. It might happen in 2 months. It could take 10 months. And that's the way you got to play it. Now, the interesting thing about here on Gravity is this isn't a futures product. So if you want to trade natural gas, so natural gas goes up in the winter, high demand, it's cold. You think, oh, it's no problem. I'll just short it in the winter. But you end up getting screwed all the time somehow. It always happens. But this, you don't have to worry about rolling contracts or anything. If you think, hey, this is a high, you can just sit and wait for 6 bloody months until it comes down, down here, wherever your target happens to be. So all I wanted to say about this was you're not dealing with a product that's expiring.
Yeah, because I think it's worth mentioning that we have become so used to financial markets just being numbers on a screen. And we have to remember that, particularly with commodities, there is actually a delivery date where actual stuff gets delivered into a tanker or a warehouse, and it has to be stored.
Some cows are delivered to your house,
right? And if you buy oil futures and then they expire, then you have to go and pick up your oil, and for which you need a government permit, by the way, and a place to store it that's certified and expensive to do, which you're not going to do. And the same with natural gas. Even worse, you've got to find a big airtight bottle to stick your gas in, and it's 6 gazillion kilograms of it.
Yeah.
So so having a contract that sort of, for example, expires in January to deliver in February is all very well, and you think, okay, I'll sell those in the winter because everyone needs energy. But if you're then selling the March or the April contract, which expires in March to deliver in April, you find that there's a massive differential between the two different dates because of that delivery. And so you can get massively hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. I should ask Gravity after this call if they're going to be adding ag products, like agricultural products. You can
Okay.
trade, wheat or beans or cattle or hog futures, and because those
Yeah.
are interesting. Those are usually really low,
Yeah.
low margin requirements, and they're kind of fun. And
Right.
they're longer term trades normally. You might hold them for many months, which is
Okay.
kind of normal. But they can move. And the one thing I did want to mention about that, and this little segue into the agricultural products, is that every year there's some big crisis.
Mm.
Oh no, there's no wheat, or the crops are failing, or
Yeah.
orange juice futures, or
Yeah.
there's no cocoa or coffee or something like that.
Well, 20 years ago, it was BSE in cattle, bovine spongiform
That's right.
encephalitis.
Yeah. These things are all ironed out always, eventually. If all of a sudden there's a huge spike in coffee because, oh my gosh, Brazil's got hit with a hurricane or something, whatever, guess what? The price is always coming down, and in 2 or 3 months, everybody's forgotten all about that emergency. Same when there's a big glut and the prices are really low because the market's flooded. Okay, buy it. You might have to hold on to that sucker for 6 months, but there's going to be a time when the supply constraints, logistics, whatever happens, Strait of Hormuz is blocked and the wheat ships can't get through. I mean, I don't know. Well, maybe not Strait of Hormuz, but you understand what I'm saying. There's going to be something. So you just kind of got to hold those long term, and those might be interesting things for people to get into, get their feet wet that don't move fast. Won't cost them a lot, but they can have fun with and just get the feel of trading. But anyways,
yeah, it's worth remembering. I mean, if there is a shortage of cattle, you've only got to put 2 cows in a field, and suddenly you've got 100, right? So just leave them.
How do 2 cows replicate?
Well, they just mate.
You know what a cow is, right?
Well, no, I meant the genus.
Oh, okay. Like, boy, we've really turned liberal in this show.
My sister was given 2 goats, a female and a male,
nice.
and then suddenly she had 7 goats.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, a lot of goats. All right. So I think we're good. I think we're pretty happy. So my thoughts are, hey, we're just going to stick with the trend until it breaks, and I do kind of expect it to break, to be honest. But we could just keep moving up into the 80s. That's fine. And what will I do? Hey, what happened to my?
It's worth saying, actually, our momentum robot in our fund has been long for the past couple of days, but it started going short last night.
Okay. I'm just wondering why I don't see my order. What's happening? It's Bitcoin, right? Where? Yeah. Oh, no, this is the current price. My order was there earlier. Am I looking at the right thing here?
Does it exist in your orders?
No, it was on the screen earlier. We saw it.
Yeah, well, you've got 0 open orders.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it too. No, I saw it too.
Did I click it and
maybe
and accidentally cancel it? Anyways, point is, let's go back. This is Ethereum. I don't want to trade Ethereum. The point is we're.
And they got new listings.
Oh, Microsoft, Avgo, Baba. Yeah, I knew they had all of Baba. Okay. Yep, cool. Yeah, so you can get some exposures to some Chinese stocks, and we discussed the Korean ones.
Yeah, I'm long Alibaba myself.
Excellent.
I like it.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to put an order into sell again up around here if we get back up there. I expect this thing to keep going, and I'll just keep selling into that. Do I want to buy pullbacks? Yeah, I do. But according to liquidation heat map, I would expect it, to maybe get a bit overextended to really hurt as many people as possible. And I'd be happy to buy all through this if it did come down that low.
I think the Max Payne chart is currently Max Payne 77-ish.
Okay.
And we've got an expiry tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the plan. Just going to stick with the plan. Hey, we don't usually trade on a trend. Normally things are going sideways. We trade the channel, but now we've got a trend, so we can just, if you want to be a real technician, well, buy at the support line and then sell. If it makes new highs or sell on the way up. You could do that if you're scalping, just in and out, small amounts every day, and ding 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 if you want. I'm just going to hold and wait. I'm not going to add to my position anymore here. I'll wait for pullbacks. So I think that's it for my strategy. You got any final thoughts on what you to do with Bitcoin?
I actually think Bitcoin's going to sell off. I think we should dump our position here.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we sold tons. Like we're sold all the way up, so we don't really have a lot left.
No. Yeah. If it were me, I'd dump that position, claim the $700 profit, and then put a buy order back in at like 72 or something.
Oh, we could put a trigger here underneath this trend line.
Yeah.
So if it breaks the trend line, it makes it, it gets us out,
Yeah.
or sells half of it or something, and just in case it's like one of these wick throughs and back up. But if it doesn't break it, then we just keep holding on. We make more money.
No, I understand. I just, I think 75 is probably where it's going to get to. I think in the short term. Yeah.
Predictions by Richard.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's just I get that feeling from the way I've been because of the options book's been trading and the way that it's starting to feel tired.
Well, look, we had the market go up 13 days in a row or whatever the hell it was. Ridiculous. And this translated into this. So it's time for a pullback. Like it's due for a pullback.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's going to happen today or tomorrow.
No, sure.
Because the market can get more ridiculous than you can imagine.
Actually, you're right. More likely Monday. Actually, I think you've got expiry tomorrow. You probably find everyone's gamma hedged, so that tends to hold it where it is for the next 24 hours, and then weekend no one trades. So Sunday night, Asian markets will start to pick up on what's going to go on next week. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I think that's it for this week. Hey,
Yeah.
You good? All right. Hey, thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you next Thursday.